How you feeling?
I feel good. Surgery went well. Foot feel fine. So just take it day by day.
What did the doc say about the rehab recovery process? What's kind of the plan?
I think 2 weeks, no pressure, 3-month recovery time, but that's all up in the air, how my body react to it and, how I go about rehab. So, but that's the time period he gave me.
Last week, Ron said that you're playing through this foot fracture for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
One, how were you able to do that with the pain tolerance? And two, what went into the decision to finally undergo the procedure?
Just fighting through it. It wasn't enough pain to where I can't go. So I wanted to finish the season out, and if we had that run, I would have fought through with my teammates. But what happened? I had a slight knee injury, 49er, so that was just too much on my left leg. So I had to call it a little quits, and then I was trying to rehab that, but unfortunately, we didn't win against the Browns. So I tried to get on top of it as soon as possible so I can get back to my off season, rehabbing, and be ready for next year.
And Tony, how did it affect you though as a runner to play with that?
Just the mental side of it, knowing that you got an injury right there, you can feel it, certain cuts I couldn't completely make, and things like that, and just having it on the back of your mind, knowing you can't do certain things. But other than that, whatever I was, fully able to do, I was going to do it.
What game did you break it?
It was actually, I didn't break it. Well, I guess I did. I couldn't even remember, but I noticed it Philly when I sprained my ankle. So after I sprained my ankle, I could start feeling that pressure where it was. And that's when we decided to do an X-ray, and we realized it was real.
The second Philly game?
Do you have a feel
Yeah.
for when you'll be able to get back on your feet, so to speak, and get back to training?
Right now, no time soon. My toes fat as hell, but probably in a little bit. I feel good. Pain is actually not bad. The meds that have been prescribed I haven't been taking. So, hopefully that's a good sign for me recovering a little bit faster.
Is this your first major injury? I don't know.
No, I actually had surgery, my sophomore year of high school. I had to get 2 screws in my ankle.
Okay.
So, that was probably the only one. But other than that.
How can you lean kind of maybe on that experience as you go through this rehab process and get back into where you were?
Relax when you need to relax. Like right now, relax. Don't try to do too much, and when it's time to go, do extra, put in the work, and get it as strong and stable as you can.
You came into the year losing weight and everything. Did you kind of notice it pay a difference in the long run over the course of the season? How did your kind of off-season goals translate to?
Definitely, not being as heavier, but throughout the season, you slow down in practice as the season goes on. So I also got to do a good job of maintaining that throughout the season, because things slow down. The reps start to slow down, so you're not getting as much running. So next year, my focus will be on trying to maintain that throughout the whole season.
You also played through a fracture in 2021. Was the foot fracture worse, or the stress factor? How did you kind of what's more painful?
I got through both of them. I don't think either one was super bad. Throughout the week, of course, sometimes it got heavy on me, but other than that, when it came game, I was ready to go.
You're one of the building blocks of this team. 7 wins, 8 wins. Where's this team at, and how close is this team to kind of taking the next step, AG?
Last night kind of showed what we could be, but we've been saying that all season, and it's kind of to the point where it's we got to fix something, but we got it. It showed. We gotta find that part or that piece, that puts it all together. If it's from mentality from us, or more work from us, or whatever it may be, we gotta find out. We gotta fix it.
Hey, G, could you talk about that backfield run? Just the maturity and how you just all the stuff you all went through that your unit. Could you just talk about that?
I feel like for me this year, a growing experience, a lesson, but at the same time it's a part of the league, and it's kind of eye-opening. But I love those guys in that room. I love to see everybody shine. I love what JP and Will got to do yesterday. So I'm always there for my teammates. I love what B-Rob did all year, this first year, and just to see what he's capable of, and, to continue to grow on. I had to take a different role this year. Everybody knows. It just opened my eyes to, what could be or what could happen. At the same time, you gotta be able to work. You gotta be able to adjust. you got to be able to support your teammates at the same time. And, you know, I feel like that's somewhere I learned. You know, I grew as a player in the NFL. We'll continue to grow it, and you know, just build on that and learn how to make each other better. You know, as the season go on. But guys stepped up all year. You know, we had JD, you know, go down, and you know, other guys had to step up. I went down, you had guys step up. B-Rob had to go down. You know, we had guys step up. I feel like in that room we have so many weapons, but you know, only a certain amount of people get to play. So, you know, regardless of what goes on, I feel like we got somebody that can run that ball.
Every team's different. What are you going to appreciate about this group of guys kind of as you look back and go into the offseason?
Like I said all year since I've been here, the fight that this team has, any other team, or not speaking on anybody, but you know, they could have went out there and gave up saying, you know, our season over, it is what it is. We went out there and fought to one of the best teams in the league, and we dominated yesterday, and it goes to shows what we're capable of and the kind of fight we got in this locker room. So, you know, just for them to go out there and put out their showcase, you know, last season the game with us having nothing to, you know, go to play for after that, kind of shows what we're about.
Sorry if you've already been asked this, but just kind of where are you at physically, and just how do you feel after your first season?
I mean, I feel pretty good. You know, obviously, a little stuff I had going on, that's been going on with me. So nothing new. You know, just focused on just recovery right now. You know, I got plenty of time to do that. So hopefully, coming into next camp, I'll be 100%.
So were you pleasantly surprised at the impact that you had on these teams in the NFL?
Not at all. You know, I prepared for it when I came in here. You know, before they even drafted me, you know, Coach Rivera told me, you know, that, you know, if he brought me in here, that he wasn't gonna sit me around and, you know, let me develop or whatever. He felt that I was, you know, gonna be ready to come in and be ready to play. So, you know, that was the expectation. And that's what I came in, and that's what I did.
What are your plans this offseason, both football-wise and then kind of off the field-wise?
I mean, I plan to just relax mentally and physically. And, you know, when it's time to, you know, kind of get things back ramped up, I'm going to hit it in full stride.
Brian, you've been on a lot of different teams throughout your career. What are you going to appreciate most about this group of guys, about this team?
I mean, these guys, man, they're so united, man. You know, we all together with everything we do, man, regardless of anything that goes on around this building or, you know, outside of this building. You know, the guys in this locker room, they always stick together. You know, through anything that's going on, you know, these guys just stick together and just, you know, always have each other back.
How close is this team to kind of taking that next step, to getting that breakthrough?
You know, I feel like, you know, we're very close. You know, we say that every week, like, dang, we just be that close. And we showed ourselves, you know, last night, you know, against a team like that. You know, we showed ourselves what we can do. You know, we showed ourselves what type of potential, you know, we can play to, you know, what we can build around, you know, just something, you know, exciting. Good energy to go into the offseason with. You know, hopefully guys, you know, feed off of that, you know, and come back with a chip on their shoulders.
Brian, with everything you've been through this season and your history in the NFL, I'm sure you went through a lot mentally. Just how are you feeling now, and how are you challenged in that sense as well?
I mean, I'm feeling great, you know, honestly, just, you know, after going through that and just, you know, being where I am now, you know, like I say, you know, it's been a, you know, a great run, you know, with all the ups and downs, you know. I'm appreciative, you know, for, you know, everything, you know, that's been granted to me over the time, and I just have so much to look forward to, you know, just the fact, you know, I came back and I did what I did, you know, when I wasn't even feeling too well, so you know, I'm just looking forward to, you know, getting back to 100% so I can really, you know, come back and play to my full potential and really have fun, like, you know, what I always dreamed of doing, you know, playing in the NFL.
Hey, Brian, how would you assess this season for yourself overall?
I mean, it was a year, like, I grew a lot. You know, I can honestly say I grew a lot. You know, when I first kind of, you know, got back on the field, you know, I wasn't, you know, even close to where I was in the back end of the season, you know, physically. So, you know, it was a year where I just had a chance to kind of grow as a professional, you know, and I watched myself kind of develop this year, you know, on the film, you know, week in and week out, and I see myself kind of make those strides week in and week out, you know, as, you know, being a starter consistently week after week after, being going through what I had went through, just coming back and being a starter and just having that role on the team. So just something really exciting to look forward to coming back to next year. Just following up in that role and really just plan to just play a bigger part next year than I did this year.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun. I had a lot of fun. It was great.
Speaking of fun, where are we? Could you give us an update on the big hat? So you did it to help your friend promotions. How did it work out for you?
I mean, big hat still trending today. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I did what I needed to do on my end.
All right, thanks, Grump.
Could have been done when you look at what you guys have now that you feel like that?
Yeah, clearly more could have been done. We're not in the playoffs, so more could have definitely been done. And our record could have been better. A lot of things. We had some games where we personally didn't execute. I'm talking about offensively and the offensive line wise. Like personally didn't execute to a way where we should have, won those games, and that we would have been in a different spot right now.
When you look at the offseason too, like there's an ownership uncertainty. There's questions about who may or may not come back on the staff, blah, blah. What is it for a player going in the offseason with that kind of uncertainty? Does it do anything to you, or do you just kind of say you're a veteran, let it shake out? Seems like a little bit more because of the ownership.
Explain that again. I'm trying to get
if there's going to be a new owner, there's uncertainty about who's going to own the team. And
I don't control none of that. Yeah, so I can only control what I can control. And that's how I always looked at it. And I know the business aspect of it. It's rough, it's nasty, but that's part of the game. That's part of this business. And once you realize and understand that, then you can get past that and say, all right, if this is going to happen to all around me, I can only focus on what I can control. And that's my performance, and that's what I do day in and day out.
What do you think of Sam?
It was a certain point, yeah. It was actually my second year in the league when I started. Yeah, when I realized, like, oh, okay, I'm the starter now, but the guy that had in front of me was still here, still a really good, solid player. They let him go, and I was like, damn. That's when it really made me realize, like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like, they're going to do what they're going to do. So,
what do you think of Sam yesterday?
Sam?
How?
Oh, Sam did really well. I think he did some really good things. Yeah, I love the energy that he brought. He's really quick-footed, I would say. He got out of some good stuff, got out of some scary situations for us, and converted some first downs. And he makes some big-time throws, so he got something he can work with.
Does today put a weird final period on the sentence where you're putting stuff in bags? It's a weird ending to kind of a weird season?
No, because at the end of the day, it was going to end at some point, right? And we knew it was ending, so it wasn't weird. Like, we knew when it was coming. Like, weird is when you're in the playoffs and you lose that game and you got to put stuff in the bags. Like, now we knew last week, 2 weeks ago, that we weren't going to be in it, so I knew it was coming.
I guess I meant more sense of finality. Like, it's really, really over.
I knew that. I knew that was coming,
How would you personally assess your play this season?
Man, personally assess my play, I got to look at the film, but honestly, I get too many big plays. Like, so I know it's a few sack fumbles that I think about that definitely could, if I didn't have those, it could swing the game. I don't think I played up to the level of my standard, honestly. And I'll be doing some film study and doing some things in the weight room and all that to take care of my body. But I'm on the field, right? So I'm the one putting that stuff out there, so I got to do better.
What's your process in the offseason? How long do you take off before you get back to
I'll start doing like little small things to take care of my body right now, but for the most part, I'm not actively heavy lifting until probably March, somewhere around there.
Do you feel like you guys ever found that offensive identity that either you needed or wanted?
I thought we did. In that Philly game when we won in Philadelphia, I felt like that was our identity. We started getting on a winning streak after that. And, at times we got away from that for whatever reason. I don't know what the reason may be, but that's my job. I just got to go ahead and go out there and do mine.
Obviously never easy to have the season end. I guess what do you appreciate about this group of guys as you look back on this year?
I appreciate that, the team all year I feel like we played tough. We showed our toughness. We never gave up. every game we always, dug it out. Came, certain games, a rest, they'd be calling wild stuff, but even then, we never gave up. So that's one thing I can say about this team is we're going to keep fighting to the end.
7 wins, 8 wins, teams ascending, building. How close is this team, you think, from taking that breakthrough and that big step?
I think y'all seen it this past game. So we right there. We right there. I think they had like 45 rushing yards. Couldn't run the ball. So our defense, we played well. That boy Sam Howell, he did his thing. So I know he's gonna come back next year. He's gonna be on one too. So yeah, man, I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited that I don't have to rehab my knee this off season. I can just get strong as a mud, come back explosive, and come back on that time.
Tell me more about that mindset that you're going to have this offseason, because you don't have to rehab this time around.
Well, I only had 3 games, so so my coaches, I'm about to go work out. We had 3 games. I don't got to rest my body like everybody else. So I'm kind of starting that early.
How much do you look forward to this next season coming up for you?
Real good. Somebody get strong, real strong.
Chase, what did you learn about yourself through all this? I mean, the team learned a lot from a team aspect, but you individually, what did you learn about yourself?
I would say this is something in my life, like, I'm a confident dude, right? But I feel like what happened to my knee, it was just something in my life that it's definitely humbling. I feel like it just helped me grow in terms of being patient. Just having to take a seat back and just watch. I think it was good for me. It helped me look at the game a lot differently. I would watch somebody else rushes, maybe Casey or Tiz, and imagine myself rushing out there, and I'm watching the game a lot differently now.
With those last 3 games, what do you feel you're able to show? And was it more important just to get back out there versus to get back to where you were?
Yeah, honestly, these 3 games, the only thing I wanted to do was wreak havoc out there, run around and wreak havoc, and I feel like I did some of that. So, a milestone for me was just getting back on the field. I made a few plays when I was out there. Definitely helped my confidence go up. So, building that foundation for next year.
Take 3 more.
What kind of
offseason going to look like?
A lot of working out. I'm on one.
With the possible sale of the team, you grew up cheering for this team, being around this team. What kind of effect does that have on you? Because you've been more invested in it than some of these other teammates because you're from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, even the name change, no name to a name change, all that. With the other name, the first name, it definitely different. It's a little, but you got to adapt in life, and that's what we're doing. So go Commanders.
Got time for one more?
How hard is a day like today? I mean, when you see all the white bags and you see jerseys being exchanged, like you said, when you look at that Dallas game, we had a lot of potential, but now it's over. How hard is it to say goodbye to a unit or to a team that you kind of didn't want it to end?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's too hard. I feel like that's why God gives us opportunities for next year. So I wouldn't say it's too hard. I'm gonna see Tiz every day probably. So I ain't going too far from now. No, we're gonna be training this off season together. And BK, we had talked. We definitely trying to get more close this off season in terms of training and getting together. So I don't think I'm gonna miss at least my position group too much. But Terry, dude like Kurt, Jahan, I know that they're gonna be, doing what they're supposed to do. Just like me, working out, taking care of business.
What's up with the slippers?
Call Marnie slippers. They are real comfortable.
They look it.
Yeah, they tough though. Get your wife a fit. Yeah, get your wife a fit.
Ohio State colors? Or
y'all get to pay yourself. They unisex. So, yeah, you know, a little drip drop.
Gotta have the drip.
Gotta have the drip.
What are your hopes? Like, when do you think you'll be back and ready to go? Full course?
Hopefully just another, couple months. I know I'll be 100% ready to go for season. That's at this point it doesn't really matter how long it takes in the off season to get ready. I know I'll be back.
I know there's some uncertainty with you this offseason being a free agent. Just kind of what are your hopes there?
I love this organization, love the guys in the locker room. I'd love to get something done, but I also understand the business side of the this league. So whatever happens, I'm gonna deal with what I got to deal with.
Was there something that happened like game that you were hurt, or was it something you were dealing with all season? Like how did?
No, I had injured it in the Green Bay game.
Okay.
So what was it like watching the team kind of go on their run after that Green Bay game? And
it was obviously didn't. You never want to get hurt, but I made sure I came in every day and was still. I think I would have gone insane if I hadn't. So, it's a little bit selfishly to keep myself sane, but I was in there every day still trying to help everybody out in that film room and try and help everybody, do what I could do and to help the guys out. And it kind of felt like it was like it's a little taste of coaching. Like when they were making plays, I was super excited and happy for the guys. I know everybody in that room on a real personal level. So it's like we're tight knit in there, and when they make plays, it feels like I'm making plays. So I was happy for those guys.
It's still hard to be on the sideline.
Yeah, I was definitely I was Monday through Saturday I was good, and then Sunday I was like, I was a wreck watching the games, but I was super happy for everybody there.
Were you able to be at most of the games, or you watched at home,
or? Yeah, I mean all the home games I went to the games, and then the away games I was watching on the TV.
What did you make of Jamin's growth?
He took tremendous strides. I mean, I think, even with me out on the field, he was growing, a lot, and he took that. He finally got himself in that film room and just stayed in there. He didn't leave till I left, kind of thing. And he started taking huge strides then, and then he really had to grow up when I had to go on IR and couldn't play anymore because he was taking over that call helmet and had to run the show. So.
Yeah.
Where did you see the biggest growth in him? What things were you seeing in him that showed you taking that step?
I mean, I think his biggest thing was, being able to take it from the film room to the practice field, take the practice field to the game field. He definitely grew in his knowledge of the defense and his understanding of where his help was at, where he could take liberties. And I think he just something clicked and he finally started really understanding where he fit in this defense.
You mentioned taking a coaching perspective, watching this team kind of turn the season around. What did you learn, or anything at all?
I'm sorry, my friend back there. Sorry, could you repeat it? Because I was like,
no problem. You mentioned taking a coaching perspective, being on the side, watching this team turn their season around. What did you learn, if anything, whether that be, how these guys operate within each other in the locker room, or even from a coaching actual perspective?
I mean, I just feel like, it's, you see it, it's like, hey, guy gets hurt, next man up. And I think, the guys did their thing. I was, especially last night, I was so proud of Kalik Hudson. That dude, love that guy. I love Kalik, and he's gone through some stuff, and he balled last night, and I was very happy. I was very proud of that kid.
He had a tough week.
Yeah.
His friend Lamar.
Yeah. No, he's it was a long year for him. So, beginning of the year he got cut, got put on practice squad, gets activated, and then last game of the season gets his opportunity against Dallas, who I fucking hate, pardon my language, but gets his opportunity against them. They played all their starters. They were trying to get that number 1 seed, and he went out there and did his thing. I was happy for him.
What's the offseason look like for you?
Go get healthy, rehab up, and get ready for next season.
How comfortable did you feel up until your injury? How good did you feel out there?
I felt like, right before that injury, I felt like the past, I'd say like the last 4 games as a defense, we really started putting it together. So I was bummed when it happened because I was like, man, I really feel like we're just starting to get on that roll, and I would have loved to have been a part of it, and they did. They got on a roll, and I tried to help out as much as I could, but I was really excited about how we were playing as a defense.
Build on this, like, Rod, there's some things that you want to kind of focus on in the off season a little bit to take that, build off.
That's a good question. I'm gonna just do what I usually do. Run a lot of routes in the off season. Condition and work on my speed.
Did you get to Carolina when the ownership change was happening? Or was that after?
No, I was there.
What was that like, and what do you think about this situation maybe changing?
From experience, it didn't really affect like players too much. We were just focused on just becoming a good team. We didn't really focus on upstairs stuff. Our main job was how can we win games.
How difficult is this day? Because, the NFL's the business, and this locker room probably won't have the same faces this year as it does next year, just kind of saying the goodbyes and kind of turning the page.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoyed this season. Frustrated that we didn't make the playoffs, but at the same time, our guys in our room, man. It was a special year. It was a fun year. I had a great time. Last year I wasn't able to be around them so much, so I feel like this year they was able to see my personality and see who I am a little bit. And I feel like we had a great time. I'm going to miss them for sure.
What are you going to appreciate most about this group of guys?
There's a bunch of unselfish guys. We all out there happy for one another when somebody makes a play. You see it on everybody's face. Guys that even play especially for us. When they make a play, you see us running out there, hyping them up. It's just a close group.
What is this team missing? You guys are building 7 wins, 8 wins. How close are you to kind of getting that breakthrough? And what do you think this team just needs to get over that hump?
I don't think we're missing anything. I just feel like we just gotta, we just gotta execute better, especially like in the red zone. I feel like, that really sets us apart if we're able to score more touchdowns. Like, even though I feel like we left points out there like yesterday in the game, I feel like if we execute and score in the red zone, our defense is going to play good as anybody in the league. So we're able to get them that lead. I feel like we'll be a lot better.
What is Ron's kind of best trait as a head coach now that you've played with him here in addition to Carolina?
I just think he got a lot of respect for the guys, in the locker room. He's a leader. We look to follow him, and we trust in him.
How old do you think J.D. McKissick is?
I don't know. He looked like somebody's dad. I told him to put his son jerseys down. That's my boy, though.
It's like DJ McKissick.
Does it kind of feel like the last day of school? Everybody's like cleaning up, signing your.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it definitely feels like the last day of school. Definitely.
How do you approach the off season? Like, what are the conversations you have with your agent, the team? What do you do from here?
My agent, he gets paid good. He's one of the best in the business, and he's gonna do his job. And I got faith in him. And I'm just gonna relax and get the training and come back.
What do you want? What do you want?
Oh, you know what I want, man. It's self-explanatory.
You do know you're gonna get paid this offseason, right?
Oh yeah.
With a smile on your face.
Talk about this defense this year and how it matured into a very special unit.
Yeah, man. Like I said last night, we had a bunch of tough games where we had to play all the way to the end, and we was put in a lot of sticky situations, and I felt like we fought hard and we came out and, every game and just tried to put our best game forward. So I appreciate the guys, and I'm happy for what they did this season.
Is the ownership uncertainty impacting all with your potential contract situation?
It means nothing to me, honestly. I have no control over it. So.
How proud are you of yourself that in a contract year you were able to put up these numbers and have this great season?
It's like all the work that I put in, over the years, just finally came to fruition for me, and so it just gives me faith to go into this offseason and keep grinding like I've been grinding and come out here and do it again.
Does it
Is
also
there-
give you a sense of comfortability knowing that you're probably coming into this big payday, considering how well you played this year?
I mean, it'll be good. I mean, I got drafted in the first round, so I already got a lot of cash. It'll be something nice for me.
Does it matter where you play? You just want to get your value, right? Or does it? Or are you
Nah,
gonna
yeah,
be picky?
I just want what I earn.
Do you have a priority? Is it finding a team to win? Is it finding a defense to fit into? Is there something that you think you want?
I mean, I can't say too much right now, man. I'm just trying to, you feel me, get my stuff and get going.
Do you think you'll be back?
Who knows? We'll see.
So how difficult is this day? Because next year you may not have the same faces in this locker room.
I really don't see it as a day as like sadness, man. I see it as a day of celebration. Celebrating the season, what we did this season, man. So much growth and accomplishment this year. I'm proud of everybody, man. So I wouldn't see it as a day, to be sad. I see it as a day to celebrate, man, what we did this year.
You've been on a lot of different teams over the course of your career. What do you appreciate most about this group of guys?
I would just say the way that they fight, because there's been many times where people counted us out, and they came in and we fought, and we showed people exactly what we could do this year, man. So definitely looking forward to getting back on the field with these guys, man. So the off season is gonna be tough.
You said it's a kind of a day of celebration. 7 wins, the 8 wins. How close is this team to kind of ascending and taking that bigger step?
I mean, you can see it, man. We're right there on the border, man. It's time to take that next step, though, man. We just gotta push. We're gonna keep pushing, man. And next year, playoffs is the goal, man. Super Bowl is the goal, man, for sure.
What do you think it takes to get that little extra? What's it take?
It's gonna take consistency. We've been on and off. Never really consistent. We had that drive. We had one like 5 or 6. So it's just about consistency. Playing our game, just setting the standard. Not letting anybody play up under it.
In yourself, your personal development, you've obviously taken a big jump in terms of playing time being a factor. What do you like what you did, and what can you improve on?
I definitely just felt like I came out and I balled this year. That's just all I really wanted to show, man. Show my brothers that they can trust me. So next year, it's just gonna be improving. The little things, anything that I felt like I missed this year, just correcting it and getting better.
Did it start that first game? The first game that you came in and you just balled out.
Absolutely.
Is that where you think it started?
Yeah, because I just felt like people, like before the season, it was unknown, like what is Derek Ford going to be this year, man. And it was just about opportunities, and I made the most of my opportunities. God bless, and I'm just proud to really be in this position right now, being around these guys. I got great players, coaches around me, man. So it's just a blessing.
One thing that COVID stole from us is a chance for us to be in this locker room and to see you guys interact. It was was a brotherhood this year.
Definitely, man. You guys didn't catch the times where we're being here, play fighting and stuff, man. It's just about having fun at the end of the day, man. You can't take that away from the game.
Are you surprised just how much individual success you had this year after not really playing that much?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised, man. I would just say that I feel like I did accomplish, just a little bit more than people hoped out of me, man. So I'm just proud of that I came out there and I showed that I can ball.
Go ahead.
I was saying, what was Ron's message to you guys?
It was just that, we're going to use this momentum. You've seen exactly what we can do. We had some things not go our way this year, man, but it's all about getting right, and being ready for when we come back, be ready to, foot on the pedal, never look back.
How does your personal success this year maybe make you hungrier in this offseason?
Oh, definitely. Some things that we're out here chasing, that maybe we didn't get this year, but next year, it's always that opportunity, man. So we gotta go out there, do our thing. It's never really about individual success, man. It's really about team success. So when you got team success, man, the individual success will come.
Is there one thing specific you want to work on this offseason for next year?
I want more interceptions, man. So I might be on that
got a
jug
lot this
machine,
year.
jug machine, man, as much as I can, man. You can never have too many.
And then between you, Cam, guys sitting right behind you, there's a lot of young, good secondary players here. What do you guys think you can build off from this year into next year?
You never know. Yesterday I think the guys went like 4 for 17 on third down, man. That's what we can hold, man. So we gotta set that standard, and we just gotta keep playing up to that level, man. Being efficient and consistent.
saw you did a backflip walking off. Do you do that after every win?
I try to do it after every win, man. You know, it was tough. I ain't gonna lie. You know, body was banged up. I had to get the last one in, though, man, especially in front of our home crowd.
You was pleasantly surprised on the impact that you made as a rookie?
No, not at all. I know what I'm capable of. I know the hard work that I put in, and you know it just pays off. You know, at the end of the day, I know that I trust in my ability to be able to make plays for this team, and that's what I'm going to be able to do in the future. So, yeah, it's just me trusting in myself, knowing what I'm capable of, and just showing you guys.
Do you think you surprised other people?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, there's always doubters in the world of what you do, but you know, it's my job to just prove them wrong.
Was there any talk like with you and Terry in regards to like the rookie touchdown receiving record?
Not really. We talked about it a little bit before the game yesterday, but not too much. I think we tied. Yeah, I guess that's pretty cool.
Terry tied.
I wanted him to get it. Honestly, I did. When we got down to the red zone after that option route that he ran, I was like, "Yo, get him that touchdown."
He did say that. We were on the field.
Going on his mic.
Yeah. We were on the field. He was like, "They need to throw you the ball again."
There was a lot of camaraderie with all the receivers this year. What did you expect when you came in knowing that you were going to be playing with these guys?
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. Coming in with a completely different group, but you know, I'm super thankful for the guys that's in this room. They brought me in just like I'm one of theirs, treat me like a brother, and I'm super thankful for them.
What did you plan for the offseason?
I have no idea yet, to be honest with you. Probably play a lot of video games, as you guys know. Get to some warm weather, hopefully take a trip. Never been out the country, so hopefully do that.
You've never been out of the country?
I've never been out of the country. Never. So, yeah, that's on the bucket list. You know, in college, you don't get a lot of free time. It's 365 days a year, so hopefully just get off my feet a little bit and then get right back to work. Of course.
Where would you like to go?
I have no idea. There's so many places I want to go. Bora Bora, that's a place I want to go, but I heard that's a really far flight, so I don't know about that this off season. But we'll see.
I suggest Barbados to you.
Barbados? Okay. I'll check it out. All right.
You may never come back, man. Don't sit up there.
Taking that big giant step.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're close. At the end of the day, you want to get into the playoffs, and once you make it to the playoffs, it's a 0-0 record, and it's a new season. So the biggest thing is, no matter the record, is just winning your division and getting into the playoffs. What's your plan for the offseason? What's kind of your mindset, your goal is to get ready for next year? Get healthy, get off my feet for a little bit, rest up, and then just start getting back into my training regimen. Do a lot of golfing. But
is that
same old.
handicap goal? Do you want to try to lower that? Or what's the deal there?
I mean, yeah, but no numbers. Okay. Not right now. Once I start getting later, I'll probably have some numbers to shoot for. But right now, mainly just getting up off my feet, just getting healthy.
You wait your whole career for a pick six. You get 2 in a year.
Mm-hmm.
What will you remember about those and being able to do that? Cross that off your list this year.
I mean, it was fun. I think the biggest thing is just, early in my career, just playing so much nickel. Just being inside, it's harder to get picks on the inside just because your back's to the ball a lot and things like that. So just being that corner, being able to see the field and make plays on the ball, it's definitely fun. Definitely, anytime you can put points on the board on defense, that's definitely big and helps your chances of winning as a team. So it was definitely fun and definitely big.
Christian was just giving you your props on his fumble, or the punt fumble yesterday where he caught that. He said that was one of the things you had said, make sure you're there.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to be able to be at a point in your career where you have a little tips to offer? And
a little weird, just because probably, especially just from being a youngest sibling, you always feel like you're the baby. But it's always fun just to be able to teach, being able to learn. I think anytime you have that in a group of guys to where everybody's learning from each other and everybody's teaching each other. I remember Sip, he was coming to me on the sidelines, giving me different tells and signs and stuff like that. So anytime a group is learning from each other and teaching each other is definitely a good sign.
Where are you in the Fuller golf rankings? You got more work than them now. Kyle's
definitely one.
Yeah.
Me and Vinny usually rotate between 2 and 3. Corey hasn't been able to golf as much lately, so he's probably at 4. But that's just because of he hasn't been able to golf much, just been busy. But I got a while before I catch Kyle.
Thanks, man.
How much, if at all, will the uncertainty for ownership, how much will you pay attention to that? Or
I mean, I don't pay attention to anything. I'm off social media and stuff like that. So I told Reeves last night he'll probably end up have to text me if anything happens. But I don't pay attention to it. I stay off social media, just focus on myself, focus on my training, have fun, being around the family and stuff like that. So it's out of my control. So whatever happens, happens, and I'll hear about it, I guess, whenever I hear about it.
But do you wonder about the impact though that it would have?
In terms of what?
Just anything, any decisions that get made here, whether it's staffs, whatever.
I mean, I don't think you get concerned because that's just part of the business. Players leave, coaches leave, and sure, I think for all of us, we see players go in and out of this locker room year in and year out all year long, and at the end of the day, you got to go in there and do your job, and so. I don't know, maybe you get a little numb to it the more you get into it because you know that things change and stuff like that. And that's sometimes it's not always a bad thing. Like sometimes you see guys go and you're happy for them. Sure, when Darb left and got his contract a couple years ago, of course we wanted him back, but we're also happy for him. But it's just part of the business.
What do you think this team needs to take that next step? I mean, it's been 8-8, 7-7, 7-9 seasons. Like, what does this team need?
Consistency. Just need a little bit of consistency. It'll come out the gates a little bit early, a little bit quicker next year. Sustain it through the middle of the season and finish the season well because obviously we won the first game of the season, but we kind of hit a lull a little bit after that, and then got back into it, got going, and then hit a lull at the end of the season. So just got to be consistent.
What did you make of your usage this year?
It was a little different than what I'm used to, but I understand. All of us are, coming off of an injury, trying to get back to a normal, and then all of us tight ends, we're the puzzle piece, right? Like you put us out there to catch balls, you put us in there to run, to chip, to do whatever you need us to do. But I don't see it being a big problem going into next year because that's just what we do. We're puzzle pieces, we're pawns, and we get stuff done.
What did you make of your wife's Instagram?
She can speak for herself, but obviously there's been multiple frustrations throughout the year. I know what skill set I bring to the table, and she knows it as well. And she wants what's best for me. She wants what's best for this team. And she knows I do a good job in the red zone scoring points, and that's really what she comes from a standpoint of love for me. So I got nothing but love for her and respect.
This will be going into your 4th year. You're likely to have a 4th if you're week 1 starting quarterback. How hard is that when you're going even just into the offseason when you're trying to figure out what to work on or this, that, and other? How is it just that uncertainty? How frustrating is that?
Can't be hard anymore if you've done it a bunch of times, right? So now I'm used to it. It's cool. I know how to approach it. I understand it. And with Sam being, I guess, the guy that's going to be the one that's moving around at this point, then I guess I don't know him or Taylor or whoever we bring in, we'll be all right. Yeah, we'll be good. We'll get on the same rapport, same count, and get this thing moving.
You hope Taylor's back?
Damn right I do, man. That's my dog. First off and foremost, my best friend, but an incredible teammate and a very good football player as well.
What makes him such a good teammate? Because it's obviously something we've heard about throughout his time here.
I don't think I have to say it. I think y'all have been around here enough just to turn around and look and to see how he interacts with everybody, see how he gets along with people, and just the smile that he brings to people's face. If you just watch the person that he's talking to and watch their face, and you'll see how much they're smiling and laughing. And I think that's a sign of who he is.
We always hear this idea of I don't want to say play harder for him, but there's something he's able to get people to maybe do a little more rally together. Is that kind of what you're talking about, with his personality?
I don't think so. I don't think that really has anything to do with it. In all honesty, I think it's just that everybody knows that he's got their back and vice versa. And it's just because of how the connection is.
Hey, Logan, when did you're coming off that knee injury and you're captain earlier too? When did you start to feel like yourself again?
I'd say somewhere midway point of the season. I can't put it, fingerprint on it, but I think around week 10 probably. Philly game, somewhere around there. I started feeling good, started feeling right, able to move. But at the last couple of weeks of the season, felt good, man. It feels nice going into an off season healthy and getting my body the normal way I do going into the season.
Ron's won 7 and now 8 games here, which suggests maybe kind of bumping its head on the ceiling, but what gives you confidence that he has this team in a better spot than maybe the record suggests?
It gives me confidence if you look around the talent in this locker room. Ron's a great coach. He's a great man, and he wants to win. He wants to do it the right way, and so I have no worries about what we're going to do.
You mentioned there not being a personnel issue and the struggles in the red zone this season. What's going to kind of catch you guys over the hump as you look at next year?
I think you just got to work it. I think you got to go ahead and do what you got to do, and obviously you got to evaluate every single week what the defense gives you and what they do. And so, I think it's a long ways away from now. So I guess we'll have to see in August.
But looking back on this year, not kind of overlook everything. Is there something where we're going to do more of a schematics issue when it comes to you guys getting in the red zone and actually taking advantage?
Yeah, we did a good job getting into the red zone. We just got to convert with touchdowns. I think that was a little bit of our struggles. In the red zone, you got to be able to run the football first and second down. You got to be able to make plays. It stinks that we didn't get the job done because we have the talent to do so.
Obviously, let's talk about the ownership in regards to the sale of the team. How much are you going to pay attention to that, and how does that maybe change the mindset going into next season, maybe with some of your teammates who may want to come back here to play?
For me, it changes nothing for me. For the teammates who want to come back, it might affect them at some point, but I'm not going to pay much attention to it. I'll know it when it happens, or if it happens, I should say. But I'm just excited to be part of this organization. It's the organization I grew up loving. It's an organization I want to finish my career out in.
It's kind of bittersweet because we've been battling for months together, and it's going to be sad to see some of these guys go, and who knows where any of us are going. So, it'll be interesting to see that. But, it's good to be around the guys, good to have this camaraderie, be able to be around them.
You've been on a lot of different teams over your career. What are you going to appreciate most about this group of guys?
I think when it comes to these guys, we all, no matter what, there wasn't individual groups or individual units when it came. We all gelled with one another. We were able to just build something with each other, and I think that's one thing that I'm going to miss with this group. I really, really enjoyed each one of these guys. So
7 wins, then 8 wins. How close is this team to getting that breakthrough and taking that next step, and what do you think this team might be missing?
Well, that's a good question. I haven't really had a lot of time to really think about that, but there's in each game there's at least 5 plays that decipher a game. So, we were very, very close to being a really special team in a sense. You look back, there's countless amount of plays out there that are either left behind or not really capitalized. We're that close to being that team. And what are we missing? I would just say just being consistent. Consistency is the biggest thing. Bringing the same team each and every week, being able to come back. We did a good job in that, but being able to come back and from being down and coming back and doing that type of stuff. So, yeah.
A lot of questions in regards to maybe front office stuff, ownership issues. What's the mindset kind of going into this off season, and also thinking back what you guys went through, the ups and downs and the distractions you had to deal with this season?
Certainly there were some distractions, no doubt. You guys know it. You guys report it. But just the off season, just really focusing. I think the biggest thing is just focusing on ourselves and being able to bring our best selves to here, and whatever situation we're put into, we'll be our best selves to be that player to be able to handle whatever. So front office, that type of stuff, that's out of my control. I have no idea what they're going to be doing or what's going to happen, ownership, that type of stuff you've been hearing all around. No clue.
You obviously played a ton in your career. You talked about not playing for a while. What did you learn about patience with yourself this year?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from sitting back and watching, and I really haven't done that my whole entire life. And I think the biggest thing I learned was just how much I love playing football. And being on the sideline, not being able to play for most of the year, just made me realize how much I truly love the game of football. And so that way, every time I'm out on that field, I'm going to try to cherish every moment.
How are you viewing the offseason as you head into year 2?
Yeah, I'm just going to try to go to work and just try to become the best player I can be and try to come back here better than I'm going to leave it. And so I'm just going to try to come back to as best as I can and try to get ready to go.
Do you think about, am I the starter, am I not the starter? Is that crossing your mind at this point?
I mean, obviously, things like that will cross your mind, but, I'm just going to try to control what I can control. I'm sure, they have a lot of decisions that they need to make, and whatever the decisions are, I'll be ready to go, and they're going to get my best.
Is this a more exciting offseason for you, knowing that you showed what you could do yesterday and the coaching staff sees now in the NFL what you could do?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely good to, get one game before the offseason under my belt. Just so I don't have to go into the offseason kind of not knowing, So it was fun. I'm just super grateful for the opportunity to go out there and play a game, play the last game of the year before the season ends. So definitely.
Was there something you felt like you were able to really show last night?
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to show the team that I'm capable of getting the job done, and I just want to go out there and fight and give it my all and lay it all out there and give my team a chance to win. And we were able to do that last night. So I really just wanted to show that I really just wanted my teammates to be confident in me after that game.
How is, through this first year, how is in your mind the NFL game different from the college game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's much different. The offense we're running is different. It's much more complex. We're doing a lot more than what we did in college. And obviously the game is faster, and guys hit a little harder, windows close a little faster, so everything's just faster. But I love it. I love the NFL. I love, I don't have to go to school. You just come and it's just football all day long, and that's what I love to do. So it's awesome.
Sam, what was that moment like when you went home and kind of reflected on what happened during that game?
Yeah, it was awesome. I was kind of exhausted last night, so it was just fun to just get back to my place and just relax, and had some people around me. So it was a lot of fun. Just super cool moment, and just super grateful for the opportunity.
Your phone blow up?
Yeah, it blew up a little bit. I still haven't had the chance to get back to everybody, so that's probably what I'll be doing today.
Did Carson turn over his suite to your family? Did that happen yesterday?
Yes, he did. Yeah, Carson, unbelievable human being. I know there's been some negative things said about him as a teammate in past years, but he's awesome, man. He's been an unbelievable teammate to me and to Taylor when Taylor was playing, and I really couldn't say enough nice things about Carson. For him to give away his suite, which he pays a lot of money for my first start, meant a lot. It just goes to show who he is as a person.
From the football side of it, is there anything you can share about what you learned from Carson and Taylor throughout the year?
Yeah, I learned so much from both those guys. I mean, they're two completely different guys, but they're both heck of a player. They're both two really good football players, and they've both been through a lot in their careers. So it's been fun to kind of talk to those guys and just talk to them about what they've been through and how they got through it, and just seeing how they prepare for a game, seeing how they are during a game and how they handle certain situations was honestly just an unbelievable blessing for me to be here with those two guys and watch how they do things.
Do you see similarities between the three of you guys' games? I mean, it feels like you kind of have like Carson's arms and maybe Taylor's legs. I don't know if that's like, it's simplifying it, but like.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are some similarities in our games. I think you said some things that might be right, but like I said, they're both two unbelievable players, and they both had long careers for a reason, and I still think they're both capable of winning games in this league. So it was just a pleasure to go through this year with them, and I don't know what the future looks like, but the three of us had a lot of fun together this year.
How important was it for you to get that game, just going to the offseason, to have some film to watch and build off of?
Yeah, honestly, it was really important. It was something that I definitely wanted to do. I didn't want to go into the off season without playing a game and just not knowing, So it is fun to, it is a good thing that I got to go out there and kind of see where I'm at and, get some new things that I can improve on. And so I'm just going to go to work this off season, try to come back as best as I can.
Was there a throw or a play that stood out to you last night for yourself that you liked more than others for whatever reason?
Yeah, I mean, the first throw that stands out is an interception. That was a bad decision. Thought I could layer the ball over the guy, but I just couldn't. But I think the deep ball to Terry was probably my favorite play of the night.
Why?
Just because me and Terry, we haven't had that rep ever. We've never had that rep, especially with the guy playing off coverage. And so I just took my drop and gave him a chance, and he went and got it. And so it was a super cool moment for us, just because we both knew we've never had that rep since I've been here. So that was a pretty cool moment.
Obviously, someone else is going to make the choice, but do you feel like with an off-season of work, you can be a starting quarterback in the NFL next season?
Yeah, I definitely can. But like I said, I don't want to get ahead of myself. You know, I played one game, and you know they still have to make the decisions, and whatever decision they make, I'll be ready for it. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself.
For that 52-yarder, Terry said it felt like the ball kind of walked into his hand. That's a tough throw, but like how? I guess what does it take to complete a pass like that, or like to actually have that arm strength?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of who I am as a player. In college and high school, we threw the ball deep a lot, and so I have a lot of reps at it. Just not with Terry, but I've been kind of sitting back and watching Terry all year long, and I know the speed that he has, and I know if it's one-on-one, Terry's going to beat the guy. So I just try to put it out there to a spot where he could run and get it, and that's what he did.
White bags come out, and you got to put all that stuff in there. And leave. How emotional is it knowing that the current construction of this team is not going to be the same?
Yeah, I think that's the thing about the NFL. There's so much attrition year in, year out. You never know what the next season is going to look like. There's going to be changes throughout every organization, throughout the league. And, I was telling the receivers the other day, like, just enjoy these moments that we have, because this is a fun group I got to be a part of this year. And there's a chance that everybody may not be in that same group. Same with the other players in this locker room. And so you just try to savor those moments. And so it's bittersweet that you're clean out your locker, because that means your season's done. You know what I mean? That means you're not in the playoffs. And we all start the season with that goal in mind, and we just didn't get that done. But, this is a time you kind of get to say your goodbyes and get excited for, take some time off. I think that's extremely needed, but then refocus and get ready for next year.
Hey, Terry, when you look back at the season and the ups and downs, how do you assess it overall?
Yeah, I think we did some good things this year. I think going forward, it'd be great for us. I speak offensively. Just be better in the red zone. I think we did a great job of moving the ball for majority of the year on all the teams we went against, but whether it was self-inflicted penalties or we get down to the red zone, couldn't quite capitalize, it kind of stifled a lot of our drives. And that's something that I think we go in the offseason and improve on, but also just the fact that we have the opportunity. We'll have new guys next year. We'll have some guys that are back. I just think everybody will have to take the opportunity to get better this offseason, come back at a new level, because that's what's going to be necessary if we want to get to the playoffs.
This group is special, too. I mean, these guys, you look like you all are really close. What makes this group so special? I
think the first thing is unselfishness. And, me fortunate to be one of the leaders, I try to drive that into our group. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm, quote unquote, the number one wide receiver, but, I'm just one of the guys. You know what I mean? Like, it's not all about me. I don't have to touch the ball the most to have success or to be happy. And, I'm happy for Jahan. I'm happy for Kurt. I'm happy for Cam. I could go down the line. You know what I mean? This is really like a brotherhood that I feel like we developed this year, because nobody cared who got the credit. We were just excited to make plays for the quarterbacks. And when you have a group like that, was cohesive, that has, I feel like anything we needed skill-wise, we had in that room. Guys that could play all the positions, run the routes, size, hands, all that. I think we had that in that room. And we were always up for the challenge. So when you come in here and you have those tough days, the losing streaks and things like that, but when you come to work and you enjoy the people that you work with, it makes things a lot easier. So, like I said, hopefully we can get as many of these guys back as we can this year, because that was a fun group that we had.
Terry, for you coming off, you get the contract in a couple of big years. Does it get harder to maintain the level of play for you? Do you notice like the way teams play you and all that you have to kind of reach deeper, do a bag of tricks?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. If I go into the off season, I think I've tried to take this approach every year I've been in the NFL. But if you go into the off season thinking just because you had a successful season this year that it's just going to happen next year, you're mistaken. Especially when you're in a position like myself, where now there's 4 years of film out there on me. I'm going to get the number one, corner. You're going to get some shaded coverages at times. So I have to figure out ways to continue to up my level of play, to continue to become smarter and more efficient in the way I run routes. There's some things that I feel like I can pick up on, whether that's like, the soft zones when there's like a fire blitz or something like that. Just little intricacies that I could do that could help my game to get more open and to help the quarterbacks as well. So I'm looking forward to this offseason, and like I said, I'm going to take some time to get my body and my mind right just to relax. But I look forward to getting my body back stronger again after a long season and improving on my skill set as well. The chase is the exciting part for me. The ability to come back in and work on things and get better is something that excites me every year.
Terry, when you talk about changes and as a face of the franchise, the changes will be coming, but
Yeah.
when you unplug, when you go into the offseason, do you just want to unplug more for you, or do you may have some contact with the front office,
Yeah.
may reach out to a free agent,
Yeah.
and be involved?
Yeah, they don't really talk to me much about the personnel as much. I think Coach Rivera and I have had some good conversations throughout the season about some things going on in the locker room or how just the status of the team, things like that. But as far as personnel changes or changes outside of this locker room, I don't really necessarily have that say-so, which is fine by me because I wouldn't want to have to deal with that necessarily. So, I think it's very important that you take time away, enjoy your family. Our family sacrifice a lot to support us, and we're away from them for an extended amount of time. So being able to enjoy yourself, take some time to relax, but also at some point getting ready for the next season. And I think, as you get older, you learn that time frame and what works for you and your body, and you start to attack it that way. But I think if you go into the off season with the mindset of you're going to get better and you're going to attack the off season instead of just like, oh, this is a time to chill. It's time to chill, but it's also time to get better, improve on your craft, so you can bring yourself better back for the next season to help the team.
Terry, in past off seasons, you've gone into it with specific things that you really
Yeah.
want to work on, maybe
Mhm.
after the catch, whatever.
Yeah.
Are there things this year that
Yeah.
going in that you really want to improve?
That's a good question. I haven't really quite evaluated that part, but I know at some point I'm definitely, and I'll talk to Drew today as well about some things that he feels like I can work on as well. And that's, like I said, that's the fun part. I think I like attacking some of the things that I feel like I'm getting better on. And when you set a goal to get better at something, it kind of gives you a blueprint. And I look forward to working on those things to come back better. I think from whether it was contested catches or, I think this year I wanted to be better at runs after the catch where I felt like I was. So there's definitely some little things that I feel like I could get better at, and I'm looking forward to that evaluation process from the coaches and just my own self-evaluation to see how I could come back better because, it's not easy to get 1,000 yards and be successful each and every year. And you need to be fortunate with health as well, so I'm blessed in that aspect. So I'm looking forward to whatever comes up, and I know I'm attacking it with all I got.
Terry, there's so much, there's the uncertainty with ownership.
Yeah.
And there's also some questions about staff and all that. What's it like to go into the offseason with that kind of uncertainty?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely uncertain. There's a lot of things that can change, outside of the norm of this attrition. And I think we all understand that in this locker room, being professionals. But also, we also understand we don't control that aspect of it. And as a leader, I would just try to, if I had a message for the team, is control what you can control, which is going into the offseason, getting better at your craft, and making sure you're coming back a better version of yourself for this team if you're going to be on this team next year. And I think that's what we can control because no matter who's the owner or the coaches and things like that, we're the players and we have to go out and execute and win the games. You know what I mean? And ownership and coaching, is a big part of what we do, but also we're the ones on the field executing and have to execute. And we had our opportunities to do that, and we didn't quite do that. So I think as players in this locker room, we can all take the opportunity to focus on what we can do so we're not in that position again, missing out on the playoffs.
If a new owner comes in, though, they'll have to evaluate everything, see how everything is. One, what is it like that? And then does that kind of put you guys in limbo in a sense?
Oh, definitely. I think when you have change or new ownership or new coaching, that changes everything because, I'm going to be honest, it's a business. And when new people come in, they don't really have any allegiance to you. And that goes for me as well. I truly feel like every year I come in here, try to earn my respect and prove why I should be on this team and be a leader and things like that. if you don't come in with that mindset of earning it, then things will pass you by, and the attrition will probably happen a little faster. So if there is new ownership, if there's not new ownership, I think the mindset still has to come in, and you're earning the job, because as soon as you get complacent, I feel like that's when you get passed by.
Terry, when you first entered the league, did you imagine, yourself taking these leadership roles and being the leader that you have become in this locker room?
And coming from Ohio State, I was fortunate enough to be a 2-time captain, so I had a little bit of leadership experience, but nothing like coming into the NFL. And so when I got here, I just wanted to learn from the guys that were already here, kind of be more seen and not heard. I was kind of always a leader by example, but over the course of, confidence in that and just development as I've become as a player, my teammates want to hear from me more. So I think I said just before, I just always try to uphold the standard or the culture of what the head coach, Coach Rivera, is trying to profess to the team, and just give the words that need to be said when they need to be said. I'm not a big rah-rah person, but when I feel like there's something that needs to be said, I'm going to say it, and it's going to come from the heart, and I'm going to shoot it to you straight, because I feel like these guys in this locker room know the truth about the players in this locker room. And what I mean by that is, you're selected by your teammates to be a leader for a reason, because they see not only your ability on the field, but how you care about them and the leadership you have off the field and on the field. So, I'm looking forward to this offseason and developing even more, even in that aspect. But I know I have to continue to be more vocal, especially with a lot of changes going on. I feel like there's going to be a need for some type of constant, and hopefully I could be that constant throughout this time.
What do you think stability at quarterback could do for the team? I know we ask you
every
year, but if you actually
find
it, what could it do?
I think it's huge. You know what I mean? I think that you give a sense of comfort and consistency when you have that guy that you can trust is going to be in there game in, game out. It's going to be able to work through the growing pains, and there won't be necessarily changes. And you have a guy that you can grow and develop with. And I think that's extremely important, not just for myself, but the cohesiveness of our entire group, because, I think all the quarterbacks we had this year did different things great, but having a consistency there would help everyone. You know what I mean? I know it's not as black and white as I just said, but I think, as you can see, the teams across the league who are fortunate enough to have that constant, it just makes everything a little bit more cohesive. So, I'm confident that, our front office will give a great swing at it this offseason to make sure we have the right guys to compete for that spot next year.
Thanks, Terry.
Appreciate you guys.